Good afternoon. Thank God it's Friday. So I want to make this really quick. So I want to show you why I feel. I want to share with you why I feel that this nation, the United States, is doomed, and possibly also many other nations around the world doomed. I was reading the article on the U.S. president making March 31st, which is today, the National Transgender Day. And he did this just 3 days after a person claiming to be a trans killed 3 babies and 3 adults in a Christian school in Tennessee. As I was reading this article, it both sickened me and angered me. It angered me so much. I know that there have been people who have claimed to be Christians who have committed offenses as horrific as this. But not once did you have a president or anybody declare, just days after this event, even months or years after this event, a national day for Christian or for whatever that person who committed the offense represented. Not once. Yet this senile, bumbling, old fool puppet who has been being pulled by his strings by the deep state is following right along and just doing whatever they call him to do. And sadly, what's even sadder is so many people, so many Americans are buying into this garbage. It reminds me of scripture how it tells us about how there be a great deception. I truly feel and believe that the great deception is happening right now in front of our very eyes. So to me, what the president just did is probably, I wrote it down here, to me it's the greatest insult and slap in the face to the families of the Tennessee victims. Okay, so I said to someone, as I was reading this article, and they passed by me, and I said to them, what's wrong with this president? The person's words were, quote, "Oh, I don't even know what's going on. I can't be bothered with any of that." That, my friends, is a microcosm of how I feel that the majority of the population feels. I can't be bothered with that. I don't even know what's going on. But you know what? That's exactly what the enemy wants. The enemy wants you to remain ignorant. The enemy doesn't want you informed, because then by being ignorant, he can very slyly enter in all these evil things, all these distorted things that are happening in this nation and in this world. And that's exactly what he wants, okay? And what else did I write here? He doesn't want people to care. So I want to end with this. The press secretary and the president themselves said, when they spoke about this, what happened in Tennessee with the shooting, they said that the trans community is the one that's being targeted. The trans community is the one that's being attacked. They said this right after the shooting. What's wrong? What's wrong with society? What's wrong? And the media don't call them out on it. What's wrong? Well, you know what? I know what's wrong. How do I know what's wrong? Because the Bible tells me exactly everything that is happening and everything that is coming, which is really, really, really ugly, okay? And I'm just going to tell you that all this perversion and depravity that's going on, it's going to get worse. I mean, we can, as Christians, we can sit here and we can pray and pray that God will intervene. But if he does, then that goes completely against what Jesus told us that would happen in the last days, which a lot of people feel that we are. I don't know if it's tomorrow. I don't know if it's 10 years from now. We don't know. But it's right on that path. It's taking us on that path. And sadly, I mean, you heard about what happened to the former president, Trump, how he was indicted. And a lot of people feel, even Democrats feel, that this is only going to boost his chances of winning in the next election. But I just commented on his son did a podcast on what's the one podcast that I was following? It's the one with Glenn Beck, Blaze TV. His son was on there talking live, and people were obviously commenting. And I commented, I said, listen, even if President Trump wins re-election in 2024, I personally feel that we're at the point, we're past that line. There's no return. Because it's not just about that one person that wins that seat, that wins that presidency. It's not the one person. It's everything that's behind him. All the people that are behind him. what people call the deep state. You know, it's really scary. Well, it's not scary. I'm not scared 'cause I'm a Christian. I'm not so scared. But it's really eye-opening to see everything that's going on. And that's why, as I mentioned to my pastor the other day, I said, I don't get it. I don't get how people don't see what's going on and what's happening. And he said to me, that's because they're being deceived. Remember, Scripture tells us this, that in the last days there'll be a great deception. Well, the great deception is happening, but I pray that if you don't know the Lord, that you would turn to him, because, you know, the only way out of this is through Jesus Christ. And the only way to get some kind of peace, some kind of bearing on your life, however long is left on this earth, is through Jesus Christ. If not, you're going to be, I don't even want to get into it. Just seek the Lord and ask him to come into your heart and start reading Scripture. If you want to know what's going to happen next, just read Scripture. Very clearly it tells us. God bless you. Have a nice weekend.